Welcome to Sholicast, the podcast all about Lolly and Shota, including Not Safe for Work. Sholicast is hosted by me, Hydro, and Dr. X. We're the developers of Insexual Awakening, a straight Shota visual novel game with incest, lollies, MILFs, onesans, and even a femboy character if you play Insexual Awakening 2, our sequel. If you'd like to play our games, you can download them at our official barag at barag.net/cyberhex. And if you'd like to support Insexual Awakening's continued development and this podcast, you can join our Subscribestar at subscribestar.adult/cyberhex. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Sholicast, everybody. Once again, I'm Hydro. I'm with my co-host, Dr. X. And for this episode, we are joined by Cubby. Welcome, Cubby.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Good to be here.
Glad to have you.
So you are primarily a just pure lolly show artist, is that correct?
That's now, yeah, I would say so. I initially started my journey as a primarily cub artist because I wanted to be somewhat in that fandom. But since then, I've realized that, I like drawing furries. My mascot's a furry, and it's really fun. It's my persona. But I much prefer drawing lollies and shotas over cubs, just because I feel like my style fits them better, and there's a lot more like fun situations I could put them in.
What are some of the situations you put your lolly show characters through?
I use a lot of my my primary, I use like kinks, I suppose. I really enjoy like recording is like a big spot for me, is where I really enjoy when the characters record themselves doing something like an act, maybe in public, maybe in private, whatever the case. I really enjoy that, and I have quite a few of my pieces that contain that sort of content. It's like that sort of thing. I also enjoy stuff like incest. I enjoy things like power dynamics. I'm a big fan of bondage as well. I have a plethora, and I keep evolving every day. Every day I'm finding something new that I enjoy about myself that I didn't expect to enjoy, but is all the things kind of add up, and I'm like a amalgamation of almost everything that you can think of.
Yeah, becoming more and more cultured every day.
Exactly.
So, you said you started out as a cub artist. How long ago did you start doing lolly show? Like human lolly show?
I started doing lolly show, I want to say it was kind of a mix. My primary internet presence was doing mostly cub because I started my account and I wanted to primarily focus on that stuff. But I had always kind of been doing lolly show on the mixed with that. My first few drawings that I did were of younger, more traditional characters. I drew Pearl from Splatoon. It was one of my very first ones, a few years ago. And since then I have gradually just grown that kind of arsenal, done more, and going to really appreciate, I feel, the lolly show side of it, because I still like the cub side. I still primarily what I look at myself. It's just there's not a lot of, I want to say, variation compared to what lolly show has, as far as I have seen. There's a lot more lolly show, I should say, a lot more artists for that than there are of cub art, and a lot of the cub artists seem to kind of converge on a specific style or a specific type of content. And I just started doing more lolly show when I started focusing more on drawing for Barag and for Pixiv and stuff.
Nice.
Have you ever done a mixture of human lolly show and cub lolly show?
I have not, mostly just because I don't know exactly what situations to put those characters in. But I'm the type of artist that I need to tell a story with my art.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, it's like I feel really confident doing one or the other because if I was all cubs and they're all specifically the furry characters and they all know how to interact with one another, they're all humans, know how to interact with one another. But if they're like mixed, it lends new challenges to writing them in ways. And while I do like bestiality type things where it's human on an animal, and I've drawn, I don't know if I've posted any, but I have drawn some of those before. But
well, you should. That's another that's another based fetish to enjoy.
I have many in my arsenal.
I mean, they're all sounding good so far.
But it's just that I have thought about it, drawing both cubs and lollies or jotas in the same kind of vein. It is just I just haven't like had too much time to delve into something like that. I'm mostly focusing on like my own characters, fleshing out my little tiny stories, making like, because like the thing I think of is whenever I make a character, I'm thinking, okay, when am I ever going to use this character again? I need to think of everything for this character. I need to think of like what their personality is going to be, what their kind of orientation is, what they're thinking at all times. I'm basically creating a whole new character every time I draw a piece, even if that character ends up being a one-time thing. I always think in the end, okay, if I were to use this character again, what am I going to be doing? And I feel like most of the time when I do that, I'm not thinking of, okay, well, this character is now going to interact with a lolly character because it's this cup character like interacting with the Shota character. I'm not really mixing the worlds like that as much, maybe as like could experiment with. Like the one thing above all else is I really want to be a storyteller with my stuff because I want there to be a somewhat deep connection, I suppose, with my characters, with my audience. I don't want there to be just like a one-time fab is okay. It's okay, but it's nothing like getting to know a character. That's why like a bunch of the most popular artists and like pieces that you probably know of is like of already well-established characters like Anya, like like people like that. And I want to kind of establish a character like that myself. And I have been trying, and it's mostly good like work and good practice, and it's fun. I enjoy doing it a lot in my free time, especially when I have not too much else going on.
So what can you tell us about the currently ongoing characters or ongoing stories that you're using right now?
Yeah. So I have on my Pixiv, I have a few stories that are labeled as such. The first one I've kind of set off. I'm updated occasionally, but it's called Amar the Cougar Catcher, and the plot of it is basically this little Shota named Amar gets in a bunch of mischief involving older women.
Nice. He's
like kind of reluctant when it comes to it. He's like, these women are kind of drawn to him as opposed to him being drawn to them. And so it's these women introducing him to this world of sexual antics that he may not be completely ready for. The first one was him and his mother. He finds his dad's porno stash in the closet, and he's curious about it. He looks at it, and his mother catches him and then shows him like what actually to do, like how everything works and whatnot.
Nice. Yeah, that's a fun story.
And then it like branches out from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely agree with you that like whenever I think of a character, or whenever Dr. X thinks of a character, like for our Insexual Awakening game, we really do think about like how the character's personality is, what their likes and dislikes are, what are they into, how does their story lead to the connection with the main character. But even when I do comics, I do the same kind of mentality. I'm like, well, okay, even if these characters are only going to be in this one comic, I still want to be able to have a character that you could see them return and you'd immediately be like, oh yeah, that's definitely this character has returned and this is exactly how I expected them to behave or what to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really love that when it comes to storytelling, because I never could get into like novels and stuff that are like one done stories. Like, it's okay when you're reading it, but I've never like fully engaged with it, and that's why I feel like I wanted to step up and kind of make an engaging story that people could come back to and get invested in. Another example of that would be this other. Currently, it's a novel. I'm writing it as a web series, but I'm planning on adapting it into a comic when I finish it. It's called Young and Impressionable, and it's about a guy, 20-somethings, named Dominic, and he is living in this backwater kind of small town, and he meets the daughter of his coworker, who's named Rebecca, and his this girl is very like hitting on him and stuff, and he's very like kind of oblivious, pushes her away a bit, and is very kind of reluctant to do anything with her because like he's an adult and she's a lolly. Like how is that going to work, right? But over the story, and as things progress, they both spend more time with each other, and they gain an appreciation for one another, and eventually they start straight up dating, secretly, of course, because you can't really tell the parents that you're dating their daughter, especially when you're working with their dad. But they start dating, and the story I initially put on hiatus because I had to just work on other things like in my life and shit. But since then, I've brought it back and I've begun uploading it as well. And currently on 14 chapters, and still plans to keep going. I don't have plans on stopping anytime soon.
Nice.
And I hope hope people can really enjoy it, because I've really enjoyed writing it.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be very interesting to write, the kind of dynamics involved, since he's an adult and she's a young girl, and having to do the whole like secret dating thing. So it's really interesting dynamics, like how the characters navigate that.
Yeah.
And you said you're planning to eventually make it as a comic as well?
I am. I had the idea to make it a comic since the very beginning, but I felt like my skills at the time weren't quite as good. I felt like my artistic ability wasn't where it needed to be in order to make my vision as best as I could. So I put that off to the side and just kept writing and kept drawing. But in the meantime, just a lot of smaller things, a lot of things that could help me improve and help me get to a level where I definitely feel more comfortable. And I do think I have gotten to a point where I am confident in my art ability, where I can definitely draw this comic whenever I'm ready to, whenever it's finished.
Awesome. Sounds interesting. I'm sure people would be very interested in that comic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like any, that dynamic between the differences between the young adult and the lolly are, like Dr. X said, that's really appealing. Of course, it would be to the lolly show community, but I think it's just, I think it's just interesting in general too, because of those added layers, like you said,
yes,
that they have to secretly date. The young adult's not really sure about the difference in the and also just their personalities are going to be a lot different, because the lolly character is going to be a lot more, youthful, and probably a lot more, the things that she thinks of are going to be a bit more childish, whereas the young adult, is thinking of like, oh shit, I gotta be able to make enough money to pay the bills and, and stuff like that. So yeah,
definitely. That's the biggest dynamic, or the biggest, I think, I don't know, say, like, point, I suppose, for my story is like, it's seeing these characters change their minds about this relationship, seeing them evolve through it, seeing Rebecca become more responsible as a young girl, and seeing Dominic become a bit more open, because in the beginning of the story he's a lot more reserved and closed off, but over time growing to be more friendly with the people in his life, not only with Rebecca and her family, but also with the other people in the town, because before meeting her he was kind of just a loner, never really talked to anybody, but now he has an excuse to talk to, like, the librarian at the school, for example, or like the science teacher who he met, and have the mutual appreciation of film, for example. And meeting these characters and all the kind of building and coalescing into a nice community that he can find himself in. And while he has like the risk of, I guess, being found out, quote unquote, he also enjoys the time he's spending with all these people, and he attributes that mostly to Rebecca, and he sees her as like his kind of guiding light in the world. And I think that's really, really nice.
Oh, that's cool. Like that he's growing from the relationship as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I think you'll get a lot of fans once that's turned into a comic. But I mean, it may also be like. So do you have the actual written story published online at this point? Like, can people actually read that? Or
I do. I have it. So I didn't know about it until recently, but Pixiv actually has a novels function where you can upload like written text and stuff in book form. That one hasn't been nearly as like seen, because I just recently started uploading on there, but I also have been posting my work to All the Fallen on their forums.
Nice.
Cool.
It was, I feel like people liked it a lot. And I was really sad to put it down, just because it's like, man, this story is something I've been working on for so long, and people are really liking it, but I'm gonna have to take it away from them, because I just have to focus on the other shit in my life that isn't this story, unfortunately. But since bringing it back, I've had a lot more inspiration to work on it, and working on like developing the world, and not like outside of the small town, introducing new characters, and overall getting a better feel for the world, and how they'll like interact with the hardships of their lives.
You could also post it on the archive of our own AO3, because they allow stories like that. So that's another possible place you can post it.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
I mean, the more places you can post it, the better, because you get, different feedback and just more eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and that's super true with creative stuff. I mean, you're scratching yourself like, come on, I got to get back to that story, baby. and then eventually you do return to it, and you like. So sometimes what happens with me is, if like because us creative people always having to work on 9 million things at once, but it's what ends up happening is like you said, you're doing all this other stuff, and then suddenly you get back into the story you had worked on, and you got all these brand new ideas and different things you were thinking about, because you kind of took all that time. You were thinking about the story, and suddenly you had all these ideas that popped into your head, and you're like, oh yeah, I got to get this into the story. I gotta.
No, yeah, for sure. The work is just never quite done, like even after you finish it, it's like, man, I could do so much more with this if I just had a little more time, a little more drive, It's just, there's so much more I could do with that. That's my biggest issue, I feel, just as a creative, because every time I sit down and like try to draw something, I always turn it into like a mini comic. Like, that's mostly what I upload. I would call them comics. It's typically a series of like 4 images, right? But it's not like in the panel format. It's like just 4 images spread out. Like this last one I did, I finished it today, and initially I started because I was like, okay, I feel like I don't have enough images that are just like a lolly in like swimwear or just not in a sexual context. So like I will draw a girl in a bikini on a beach in a non-sexual context, and it'll just be her. And then when I was starting drawing it, I'm like, you know what? I know exactly what to do with this. And I just kept on sketching and sketching, and it came up, and I like, by the end of it, I had like fucking 7 panels, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to line this and render all of this. But it's so fucking worth it because it's so fucking good.
And there you go. It's more practice, and you're also excited about doing it.
Exactly. It's a real fun time, I will say. It is just a little annoying having my brain go, okay, you know what? This needs to be a comic. I can't do a single image. It needs to be a comic. It needs to be. Even if it doesn't need to be a comic, it's going to have different alts to show like different layers of clothing. It's going to have something like that.
Is that what ended up happening for that lolly one on the beach that you were talking about?
No, I turned it from a regular lolly on the beach into she's talking shit to the viewer, and then the viewer sprays her with age regression spray, and then she turns into like a really young lolly, and then and then things get a little messy as he corrects her for being so rude to him.
Man, and can I get a bottle of that stuff? That like where is that stuff? So it sounds awesome.
You could buy it at the supermarket. It's by Dove. Dove made it.
Like, cool. So I'll smell fragrant when I spray it on myself and turn into a Shota. Sweet. Well, we'll see. That's the other benefit too. If you accidentally spray it the wrong way, you're still going to end up a win-win.
True.
Becoming this storyteller and stuff. What were like your inspirations in terms of like were there any like either stories either written or as anime or movies or series that really made you be like, oh man, I want to write stuff or create stuff like this?
It's weird because for NSFW stuff, not really. It's like I got most of my want to write from just regular anime and shit. Like One Piece was a real big inspiration.
Well, there's a lot of material in that.
Yeah.
So.
Naruto's huge inspiration to me. A little interesting one is The Walking Dead is also a very big inspiration to me.
Oh, interesting.
Just love that kind of storytelling. And it's like there's so many creative things that I've like seen and like been inspired by and used to create my own stuff. And then I just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make the most degenerate shit possible because I love this shit too. What if I just combine my two interests and make stuff that's really fucking cool? I think that'd be really cool.
It is a cool idea.
I mean, I can't tell you the number of times, and I mean, this happens, I think, with a lot of creative people, like when you watch just, a perfectly regular, safe for work show like Naruto, One Piece. I mean, they certainly have like their suggestive moments, but
yeah.
There's something that happens where like you think of like, oh man, if this like happened like in this not safe for work context, oh man, that'd be epic. Wait a minute, I can create that, and then you do it, and
yeah.
And I wonder if it's like that aspect of thinking about like how, oh man, this is kind of taboo to do this to this show, but I wonder if it's also just you're just love the show so much you'd like to see all aspects of it, including the not safe for work side.
Oh, definitely. I think both of that definitely applies. I know for a fact, one of my first lollies in anime that I've seen, like I just adored. I might be a little bit. I don't know if you know this character. It's Suika from Dr. Stone.
Yes, we know her.
That's one of our favorite series where we're currently watching it.
I fucking love her.
We're watching the anime, yeah. Oh, you finished the manga already.
We finished the manga, yep. It was really good.
So good.
Oh, yes, it is.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, she's a great character.
It's like she was like one of my first, and every time she's on screen, it's so fucking adorable, and I love seeing her be so helpful to the group. And it's like she was one of the most precious rays of sunshine ever. And she's also so fucking hot. Like,
yeah.
I can't explain it how much I want her. It's like just the way she dresses, the way she acts. I also have like a big thing for facial wise. I like it when a character has the big single color eyes. Like if you see how Hollow Knight characters, I really like that design space where it's just like big eyes, small mouth, and like Suka fits that perfectly, especially when she has her helmet on.
Yeah, the watermelon.
Yeah, it that just like instantly made me connect with her.
Have you finished the manga?
I have. It's fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, cool. Then you know everything.
I know everything. I'm not going to spoil for the audience at home, but man,
yeah, she's a great character now, and she's even better later.
She's such a good character.
Yeah. Like I put her into S tier after reading the manga. I was like, wow. I mean, she was already way up there, but then she became like one of my favorite characters.
Absolutely love that.
Do you notice in Dr. Stone that there's like a pretty good balance of like differently aged characters who are still important and are still competent?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's different age groups for everybody. Like every character has something, or every like age demographic that would potentially read it has something to look at. Like I forget the old man's name who
Keisuke.
Yes, yeah. He's like the coolest old man in fiction.
Yeah.
Like he just loves his little gadgets like Gizmo. So it's really adorable.
Yeah.
I love him for that. Like they do have like a very big representation of characters in like the 18 to 24 range.
Yeah.
But yeah, even you go younger than that with Suika in like, I don't know if Ginyu counts, but like those kind of characters, it's really cute to see too. It's just, everyone's working together to help to make this goal possible. And that's like the whole message of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's that sort of storytelling that inspires me to create, because it's like, oh my god, all these characters are coming together for this common goal, and it's like it's so hopeful. And even though there's some like drab, dreary parts of it, it's all like overall pretty hopeful in the end.
Yeah, I love it.
I do love ensemble casts, like big casts of characters that where there's tons of them and lots of different personalities and different ages. That's why it's great. I personally wish the manga would have continued a little more, but
yeah, I think where it ended is okay. I do wish it went on a little bit longer. Did you read the like the 50 page one shot that they made like afterwards?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. Like that. You know, Dr. X and I were actually really glad they did, because otherwise we would have been not as satisfied with the ending if they didn't. And I mean, Dr. X and I talk about this all the time, that like a lot of times big mangas, like they'll only have like, some mangas don't even have like an epilogue chapter or anything. They literally have like maybe like a few pages where there's like, and all of them defeated the enemy in the end. All right, bye. And that was it. It's like, oh, well, wait a second. Wait a minute. What happened to so-and-so? And what? So I'm glad they did that.
No, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I appreciate that it wasn't just like, oh, they fixed like the main problem in the story and then like the end, basically. I'm really happy that they like talked about like what happened afterwards, because that's an interesting question too. It's not just defeating the main, problem. It's also what happens after, and like how do the character relationships evolve.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one of the reasons why you want to see it continue too, is that we want to see how the character relationships continue to evolve.
Yeah,
that's right. It was also fascinating to learn, and I mean, I should have known this anyway, that Dr. Stone had both a writer and then the artist.
Yeah.
So they were actually collabing together, which that's a pretty common thing, but I didn't think of it in the context of, the manga. Well, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool, because it's like, oh, nice. You get a person who's dedicated to the writing and one who's dedicated to the art. That's always exciting for me, because I love collabing with artists and working with Dr. X on IA2. and when you get those dynamics working really well, you can really get some amazing stuff created.
Oh, for sure. And in my opinion, Boichi, who's like the illustrator, right?
Yeah.
He is probably the best to ever do it when it comes to manga, just because, like, even like specifically art, because he's had other stories in the past and haven't exactly hit, but his drawing and his illustration is so like perfect, and there's like I could gush about his art all day, but this is a Lolly Show cast, and unfortunately he doesn't really draw that. I wish he would though.
I mean, there is Suika. He's good. He's good at drawing it. I mean, I kind of wish he would. I wish he drew more like slightly hornier stuff of Suika.
Of Suika, yes, but there's definitely some horny stuff for the other characters. Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
Oh my God, yeah, there is big time.
And I appreciate that because like the story is like thoughtful and hopeful and interesting and funny and it's a complete story, but you also have the horny element.
Yeah.
It adds to it. It doesn't detract from it at all. It just feels good. You know what I mean?
It does. It does feel good. It feels really good.
Yeah. The only thing that's missing is the suggestive stuff of Suika. That's all we need.
That's all we need. Come on, Boichi. Come on. I'm holding my hands together for you. Come on.
Like, imagine you're watching the anime and then, like, the ass shot that we always get with Dr. Stone, but, like, we do it with Suika, where you can see her, like, butt cheeks through her dress or whatever somehow.
Oh, for sure.
That would be great. I would love it. It'd be amazing. I mean, that's why, like, I gotta appreciate the artists that just are unabashed in that, but still, like you said, that this whole story is very thoughtful. Characters are still very memorable. You like that. I don't think there's a single character I dislike in Dr. Stone. Like
no.
Even Genro, like even though he sucks, but even then he like still is not terrible. Like I still can appreciate Genro's like aspect in the story.
Yeah, he sucks in a way that's endearing.
Yeah, that's right.
he's such a piece of shit, but he's so funny. Yeah, I think Suika, top 5 characters that probably got me into this, I think.
Oh, really?
She's like at least number 3. Honestly, on that list.
So previous to Suika, were you into a Lolly Show at all? Was that your awakening, or was it before that?
I think it was just a teeny bit before that, because like the first character I saw that really opened my eyes was True from True in the Rainbow Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that one?
I have no idea what that is.
I'm not familiar with that. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up an image, send it in the chat.
Sure.
But this character, she's part of a kids show that my little sister watched, and I was forced to watch with her. And like, just watching it, I'm like, okay, this is a kids show. This is whatever. But there's something about her that lit something in me, and I think it's partly the art style that's helping me do it. But it is criminal how few people know about this, because it's such like an unknown show. Is there a chat I could put this in?
The podcast chat, which is the secondary one. Yep.
Oh
yeah. Yep. I mean, I can see how it's appealing.
I think I saw an ATF user or a Bragg user with that character as their avatar.
She I think among the people that know about her, she is like high tier, like top 10, like so good. But among the people that don't know her, like they don't know her. They don't know her. They don't know anything. And it's so sad, because she's just one of my fucking favorites. And I wish there was more content of her in general, like in show or in NSFW. I made some before, but it was a long time ago into this shit.
So what attracts you to this character?
I think at first it was the socks. Low key. There was an episode where they were the plot was they had to take care of the king's castle, and so they took off their shoes and were sliding around on the floors in their socks, and that was around the time I was starting to getting into like thigh highs and shit, and that was like, oh, okay, I guess, okay, sure. But she just has such a bubbly personality. It's like, that's my favorite thing when it comes to lolly characters, that they're so bubbly and so full of energy. It's really, really infectious. Like, shouldn't come as too much surprise since I make cub art as well, but I was My Little Pony fan for a little bit. It was kind of after the brony craze, so I was getting in a little late, but that was like my favorite of the ponies is Pinkie Pie for that reason.
That makes sense.
It's like, I just really love that bubbly kind of energy, and True has that like in spades.
Mm-hmm. If you were in Pony World, would you make Pinkie Pie?
I don't know. I mean,
really?
I think Rarity is what I'd marry. Pinkie Pie I'd fuck for sure. But I don't think I'd kill any of them though.
Thankfully, that's nice of you to say. It's funny because I've talked to Hydro about like who would be the best fuck for the ponies, and we agreed it was Pinkie Pie.
I think it's almost certainly Pinkie Pie. She's like the most rambunctious. I think she'd let you do almost anything.
Yeah, and be happy about it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. She's down to do anything.
And then I think for second or third, it would probably, well, I know Rainbow Dash would be up there, because Rainbow Dash would be the one to do something more risky and like out in the open and stuff.
Like public sex stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, I can definitely see why you like this character, though. I mean, I already like the fact that she is probably wearing spats underneath her skirt, and I mean, a lolly and spats are just instantly a win combination.
Automatically.
True lolicons think about what they're wearing underneath.
Yep. Yeah, like for all we know, what if those pink things are just an extension of her socks, and she actually doesn't have anything underneath the skirt? It just ends right there where the skirt is, and you can't tell.
So it's just like socks and no underwear.
Yep.
That's a great thought.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. That could be exactly what it is.
Yeah, you don't know. Could be. So you said you were into the socks. Are you? Is it like socks specifically, or also like feet?
Mostly just the socks. I'm not really into like feet in general. Nothing against it, of course. I do enjoy myself a good foot job every now and then, as most respectable individuals do.
Yeah, of course.
But I usually prefer it with the socks on, like fishnets, socks, what have you, other things in that vein.
This is how you got into lolly in the first place.
Pretty much, yeah. I think it was this, and yeah, it was definitely this, because that was my first Rule 34 search.
Oh, for this character, wow.
Yeah.
Damn. And like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking when you saw the images?
I'm like, man, nobody knows this character. Like,
yeah.
When I found the art, there was like 6 things total.
Wow.
And 2 of the series. 2 of them were of the cat, because she has a cat sidekick.
The cat.
And
okay.
One of them was like super rough, like it looked like someone without much artistic skill made it. And then another one, which was of her, and then I don't want to say wise old sage, because he's not old, he's like the same age as her, but like the guy who lives in the tree, because there's a big old tree that they go to, of course, and like it's her and like them doing something. And those were like the only things that were on the page, and like there's not enough art of this. I need to make art of this right now. And that was what got me started, because it's like, dude, why does no one know this character? This character can't be that obscure, right? But apparently she is. She's definitely not known.
So from there, did you try to look into other lolly characters?
Yes, I did. It was her first, and then another similar vein character, Abby Hatcher from her titular series. Another like kid show type thing I had to watch with my sister. Then after that it was Suiko. Then like on and on and on from there. Pearl was one of them as well from Splatoon. There was just a bunch of these characters from a bunch of different like shows that I would have been watching that I was really interested in. I wanted to see more art of. But unfortunately, a lot of the shows that I was watching didn't have much art of, because I wasn't like watching most of the popular shit because I didn't have cable, so stuck with the Netflix stuff.
Pearl's an interesting one because some people consider her a lolly, and some people are like more like that. They interpret her as more like a gremlin, basically.
Yeah.
She definitely has both makings. I think she's both. She's half gremlin, half adorable little child.
Yeah, but that's interesting that you got into the lolly from that kids show character, and then you kind of just branched out from there. It is interesting because like, especially like the shows for kids, they're like not intended to be like horny at all, but then then very based people like us can still watch it and be like, yeah, that's horny, at least to me.
I see potential here.
She's taking her boots off.
It all goes back to that aspect, right? That like you take something that's perfectly safe for work and like maybe even borderline very sanitized, but when you think about it, like her design is not completely sanitized when you think about it. Because it's still it's trying to be colorful, it's trying to be very very high energy compared to like a lot of characters that usually are made in this kind of style. She looks pretty unique looking, like she looks pretty different. Because I've seen shows where like it's this similar style and it's just super generic looking. You're just kind of like, yeah, this is whatever. but she actually looks interesting.
100%. I think she has one of the most interesting designs of any like kid show protagonist made past like 2015. It is like it's just so much creativity. That entire show is creative as fuck. It's like, it may be like a kid show, but it's like there's definitely passion put into it, both from the voice actors and from the artists and animators. Like everything about the show is like very well put together, and it's not like anything else I think I've seen, especially off Netflix, because it was like, I don't think it was specifically made for Netflix, but it was definitely a show on Netflix, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, her skirt isn't very long too, so it's kind of makes your mind wander a little bit.
It does.
Exactly.
You don't have to flip the skirt too much to see something special.
You do not. No.
And what are you thinking about for like future projects? I know you said that you wanted to make a comic of that one story you were talking about. Was there anything else?
Yeah, I have a bunch of stories in the reserves. The first one, I can rip off the dome. There's it has no name yet, but it was initially a furry comic where these two, husband and wife, the husband is really like young compared to the wife. He's like early 20s, and the wife is like mid-late 40s, and she has a daughter, and he marries her because they love each other. They work in the same office building, and one day he comes home by himself, and his daughter tries to seduce him, because that is one of my favorite like kink things. It's like, I love it when the girl tries to seduce the guy. I just adore it. And so this happens, and he's conflicted at first, but then relents, and they get down to business. And eventually the mom gets home, and the mom sees this and joins in. And then they're having a grand old time.
Good.
It's like, oh, finally, geez, how it took you long enough.
That's exactly actually how it goes. Is that, look, I married you for this reason, and you know, something's got to happen. If something is happening, I'm happy it's happening right now. You're involved.
He finally got the clue. What was this character's name with the blue hair?
That's True.
True. So like, is one of like your fantasy scenarios in your head that you think you would enjoy, is one of them like True, like trying to seduce an adult man, or do you have like other stories that you would like with her?
Oh, 100%. I think her entire character, or what her mission is as a character, is that she has to help people in her world. So I think a way that she would help people is by helping them relieve that their issues, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that's a great plot. I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I think she definitely would be willing to do that. She is a very upstanding citizen.
Yeah. It's her duty to relieve a man of his blue balls.
Exactly. It's
There's so many of them out in this world. Wow. I've got to help them.
I need my gadgets to help me, because she gets 3 wishes at the beginning of every episode.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, and she uses them to help with the problems. Kind of like I guess Mickey Mouse a little bit, but also not really, because they're unique per situation. But they do occasionally come back in each episode depending on what they need solved.
And like her being like, she's like an upbeat, like energetic kind of character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that would make it even more fun if she's like trying to seduce a man, right?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, that is really, really fun. Like, I'd like to see that, or even like read it, like see it or read it. Honestly, either way.
I definitely need to get back to that. I feel like I started working on it, something like that. I did start working on something like that, but it was like 2 years ago, and it was before I started making all my content, and it was before I started really improving. If you like go on my Pixiv, you can see all my art from like 2 years ago, and it hasn't aged very well.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and like I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a break from this. I'm gonna pause. Same reason as the other reason. With a young and impressionable, I was like, I need to step back and take a break from this. I need to improve my ability first before I actually do this.
Mm-hmm. Now you do have a Shota character, correct?
I do.
So did you awaken to Shota around the same time, or was there a different timeline for Shota?
It was definitely later, because I started liking Shota more around the time I started finding my sexual identity just in general, because I'm pansexual, so I like basically everything. But I didn't like fully realize that until like I was around 16, and looking at art, I was like kind of conflicted on a lot of my feelings before that point. And then I just started looking at more men, and then eventually that turned into boys and boys and boys.
Men to Shota pipeline?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one understands. It's the pipeline, guys. The pipeline's gonna claim us all. And it started primarily with the cub art.
Yeah.
That's mostly where I got accustomed to it.
Interesting. So first it was Cub Shotos then?
Yeah, it was Cub Shotos first.
And was it like any particular popular Cub Shota characters, or?
It was, I think, if I remember correctly, it was a independent artist Cub character. It was, I think, either what's his name? It's the Astrolux.
I haven't heard of them before.
It doesn't ring a bell.
They are a Cub artist, or I guess Cub is the right word, but they do a lot of like adult and Cub stuff, and their primary export, I want to say, is this series of comics where this Buddha mom is like meets her long lost son who turned 18 and then came to find her, and then they start hanging out and spending time with one another, but she is like extremely fucking horny, and he is also like closet gay, and they mingle and coalesce. And that was like my first taste of it, because he's 18. It's not full Shota, right?
Is she like a crocodile or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was one of my first taste. Oh, okay. Do you know Cobalt Snow?
No, that one I don't know.
Okay. This was like the first, I think. It was a one-shot comic that they made. I saw it on the hentai boards or whatever, and it was a bunch of cubs getting around one another at like a slumber party type thing, and one of the girls dares one of the fellas to kiss the babysitter, and unlike a responsible adult, this babysitter is beating it in the living room to porn on the TV. And
very nice.
And he comes, doesn't see the girl behind him, and like blows that load on her face. He's like, oh fuck, I'm screwed, dude. But then she kisses him and runs away before he can clean it off, and they all taste it, and they all get curious, and things go from there. That was my first exposure to that sort of thing, like Cub wise, and that led to like Sheath and Knot, which is like two brothers, like 117, one I think 12, and that was like the big Shota hours for me. That was like my favorite.
So is that what finally clinched it for you?
I think so. It was that also helped cement my enjoyment of Knots and that sort of thing. A lot of these series are just like incredibly well made, and they were like the real inspirations for me starting NSFW comics specifically, I think.
So you started with Cub Shota, and like what was your first like preferred character or favorite character for like human Shota? Was it your own character or was it a different character?
I don't think that there's a human Shota that I know of that I'm actually super interested in. It's mostly my own characters. I really like my own characters. Otherwise, I wouldn't be drawing them, right?
Yep.
Probably Button from My Little Pony.
Oh, like the humanized version of him?
Yeah, that's probably the closest I can get to naming a Shota that I like. I never really clicked with any of the human Shotas in like anime. They always kind of like, oh, they're just boys. I'm a boy. It's fine. It was mostly started with the Cubs, and then the more I started watching and the more I started enjoying a bunch of different shit, the more I started gaining an appreciation for the Shota aspect as well. Not only yaoi, but also straight Shota and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Yeah. I think back to the comics, because there's one more comic I'm working on that I think would be interesting to share. So I think about a month ago at this point, I made a small art piece for a like a challenge type thing. Because ATF, they have their Rocket Chat, they do a weekly drawing challenge where you just gets people to draw things, right?
Yeah.
And the prompt for that week was lingerie and kindergarten, and I'm like, okay,
Nice.
I could do that.
That's a good combination.
It's a very good combination. I misinterpreted it as preschool, and so that's what I drew. And I'm like, okay, this is good. Someone points out to me that it's not kindergarten. I'm like, huh, whatever.
You made it even more based than it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yep.
But I made it, and I'm working on it, and this is one of the only things I made that's like a single image that I haven't like turned into a comic. And I'm like, okay, I made this one image for this thing. Cool, done. I think it's probably good enough to upload, so I'll upload it and I'll see what it does. It's probably gonna be fine. It turns out like that one piece blew the hell up, and I didn't expect it to do as good as it did. Like, it's quickly become one of my most popular works on Pixa, and even on Brag. I think on Brag it is my most popular one, and it's crazy to me to think about that. And after that, I've had like several people message me and ask me like if I am going to continue it in any capacity. And initially I'm like, I don't know if I can like do anything with this that like hasn't been done already. Then I started thinking like, I would like to see this stuff anyway. There's not a lot of artists that have done something like this, where it's like this preschool that is like somewhat like naughty, right? It's like, it's already I think the closest thing that comes to it is Hummingbird.
Yes, I was thinking of that. Yep.
Yeah. That's the closest comparison I can make to it. And so I'm like, you know what? I like it. I like this concept. I like the idea. And other people like the idea too. I'm going to try to turn this into a comic. And so recently I started working on the drafts for that. And it's been coming out pretty good. It's like, what I've decided is I'm going to make the first chapter here. It's just an introduction, right? It's going to show off all the characters that work at this place called the Kitty Corral. And they're all doing their thing. It shows what their jobs are and takes a little tour around the building and stuff, and shows off all the very, very nice employees. that are taking care of your children for you.
Yep, taking care of them. Yep.
And so far, that is coming out pretty good. And I've been really enjoying writing it.
I remember Stoney talking about it and being super excited.
That's nice. I really like that. She's one of the only people I've really shown the drafts of. It's like, I posted them, I think, to my fan box, but I don't really have any supporters. And it's like, I really like this idea, and I really like how it's coming out. I can't wait to keep working on it. It's so fun. It's like, just as a concept, I really fuck with it. And I really think that a lot of people are gonna fuck with it too.
Oh, for sure. That sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you do have a fan box. Interesting. So people can support you on Fanbox if they want to.
Yeah.
If you want to see more of those kind of comics, if you want to see Pre-Cum School, basically, you can support Cubby on Fanbox. Please do so.
Yeah. Only 500 yen a month.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Are there any cartoons or anime you're currently watching right now?
Yes. I recently started watching Steven Universe with my sister for the first time because I haven't seen it before. And oh boy.
Yeah, yep. I figured.
I adore Peridot, and Steven's so cute. It's just so like that series I think gets a lot more hate than it should.
Do you think Peridot's kind of like Pearl from Splatoon, where she's like a lolly and a gremlin at the same time?
100%. Whenever I see a small character like that, oh, sorry, I'm claiming that's mine.
I mean, I remember I watched only the first season of Steven Universe, and I did like it. I did enjoy it. It does have kind of a divided opinion in like some of the later seasons. However, if you're a fan of Peridot, I mean, I think there's literally like a whole season dedicated to Peridot, from what I remember, for practically anyway.
It might as well be just a Peridot show at that point. But I really like it. What else am I watching? I'm watching, I guess not really watching, but I'm reading One Piece. I'm caught up with that.
You caught up to One Piece?
Great fucking manga. Introduced, I don't know what the author's trying to say, right? But he just introduced some more lolly characters and Shota characters. So, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that at all. The recent One Piece.
No.
I haven't seen it because I mean, if there's a new lolly or Shota character, I mean, Barag and all the lolly show communities probably would make art of it.
Yeah, we'll see it eventually, I think.
You'll definitely find it. It's kind of trickled in. Maybe not of the one I'm thinking of right now, but he is a very good character. I think once he at least gets animated, he's definitely going to get some more representation.
Oh, sweet.
Well, that sounds good. I don't think it'll still be enough for me to read through all 900 gazillion chapters of One Piece, but
no, trust me, it gets good after episode 800. Please trust me. I really can't, in good faith, recommend anybody read it. It's a trap. It's a hole. If you start reading it, you're never gonna stop reading it, and then when it ends, you're gonna be fucking dry like a raisin. And I've sucked you completely.
Damn.
I mean, okay. If One Piece, if the very last chapter is literally a gigantic orgy of all the lollies in the shows and all the characters, then maybe I would consider it.
That's the secret of the One Piece.
True love. That's the One Piece. It was the lollies and shouters he made along the way.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be funny if like the way that One Piece ends is like he doesn't even have like an epilogue chapter. It literally just ends like after all those thousands of chapters, and he doesn't. but knowing the One Piece creator, probably what's going to happen is that they're going to find the One Piece or the story's going to conclude, and then he's going to be like, "All right, guys, now I'm going to just do a very short epilogue. It's going to be 100 chapters," and
it's like that is exactly how One Piece has grown to the size it has. He just can't stop. He can't stop himself.
I mean, I gotta commend him for like being able to continue to go with the story that long and do it that consistently.
No, for sure.
And there's plenty of fans too, so they can't get enough of this shit.
No, for sure. I hope to one day be the one the one piece of the Lolly Show community.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, he's so stupid.
Any other mangas or animes or anything on top of that, or is it mainly just One Piece and Steven Universe?
I've mostly just been watching those things, and I just been spending most of my time drawing, listening to music and whatnot. But there is a new Boichi series. I don't know if you've seen.
Yes, the like Western one.
Yeah, and that looks really fucking good.
It does look really cool.
Interesting thing about that, it's like you can tell it's Boichi just from the silhouette of the character.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
That's why Boichi's the GOAT.
There better be a Lolly and Shota character in that series. There better be.
I think the main characters just showed up, but I have to really look at it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something for us to check out.
Yeah. But yeah, I've mostly just been listening to music and drawing my heart away.
Awesome. And if people want to see your art, where would they go?
My blog is blog at Cubby Corner. You can also support me on Pixiv at Mars Bars Art. That was my old name before I switched it. But Pixiv won't let me change it. And same thing on Fanbox as well. I have it's always either Mars Bars Art or Cubby Corner on basically every social that you could think of that I'm on. Ink Bunny, Yaxis probably it, but
You also got an ATF account where you post some of your stories, right?
that's true. ATF Cubby Corner is my name there as well. I don't post there super often, but I do post new chapters when I make them,
Cool.
and I do post occasionally my art, but that you can usually see that on the other sites as well.
Awesome. So yeah, you have different choices on where to see Cubby's stuff, and you know if you like their stuff, support them on Fanbox.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was a great discussion with you, Cubby. It was lots of fun, lots of laughs.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great to have you on.
Yeah, it's been very nice being on. Very nice talking with people about this, because I often get to talk to people with my voice about art and the Lolly Show and shit.
I know. I mean, previous to doing the podcast, I think the first time was we did a live stream on Pomp. We were playing through our own game in Sexual Awakening,
Yep.
and that was like the first time I've ever spoken with my voice about Lolly Show, so that was very special.
Yeah, and then this podcast came along, and it's been great.
Yeah, so we're so happy we got you on. It was a really fun episode. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Been
Yeah.
great to be on.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hope we continue to see more of your art evolve and more stories, because they're all sounding great.
All right, thank you very much.